So finally, this project is complete. Took me a lot longer than I thought it would, but at least we got it done. The pump is installed, got the filter right there, got the nozzle. The electrical was kind of a challenge. So it comes out right there and goes behind the bed, or behind the cab rather, drops straight down. And then I have it tie wrapped to the frame and these running boards all the way to the engine compartment, and it's tied on really well. The only way you can see this wire is if you lay down on the floor and look up. It's totally out of view. Then as far as hooking it up to the battery, that was kind of interesting. Let me show you what I had to do. Get this hood raised back up. All right, guys, this is a Duramax diesel, and with the diesel engine in most trucks, you have two batteries. The main battery is right here, and the second battery is over there on the other side of the cab. The pump is hooked up to this side right here. So in order to do this the right way, here comes the wire, and that's a number 10 wire. I thought that was kind of large for this size of pump, but that's what came with the kit. So we got the negative coming off right there to that post, and the positive right here, I had to do a splice because I needed to add a 30 amp fuse. A 20 amp fuse I think would have been ideal, but the manual for this pump said 30 amps. So that's what we did on it. So we got a 30 amp fuse right there, and shout out to my buddy Mike down the road. He came over last night and he had one of these in his shop. So he donated a 30 amp inline fuse to this project. And you can't see it inside this little plastic housing, but there's a 30 amp fuse inside of there. That way, if there's some kind of short or a problem with the pump won't catch on fire and it will blow the fuse. That's very important right there. I think this kit probably should have came with this fuse because the manual is hard to read, and some people may look over this step, and it may cause you some trouble one day if you do. But I tell you what, guys, this took me about an hour to get the wire into this engine compartment. I had to get a fish tape. For you electricians out there, you know what I'm talking about. It's a wire that goes on a wheel, and you put it in conduit to feed wire through. And in order to get this wire, because I think it's kind of oversized, through all this mess in the engine compartment, I had to take the fish tape, feed it through, hook the wire to the fish tape, and pull it back. It was pretty tight. All right, guys, let's go put some diesel in it, see how it works. All right, so some of you guys may be wondering, why did you put a diesel transfer tank on your truck and you don't go anywhere and do work? Well, the main reason is, there's two reasons actually. Number one, we bought this new property, and it's it's not right beside me, it's on the other side of the road. And the main area we need to work on behind that barn is about maybe 300 or 400 yards away. So if I'm down there working with the tractor or with Mr. Cotto and I get low on diesel, I can bring the truck down there to refuel the machines. I don't have to go get a 5-gallon tank and come down there and do that whole mess right there. That's a pain. I've been there and done that. And it's not a good way to work machines in the field. And the second reason is, and I've talked about this in the past, Investing your money in quality tools. This was a good investment, and if something happens in the future and I don't want to do this anymore as far as having this set up in my truck, I can easily sell this on Marketplace or Craigslist and get most of my money back. Hopefully we don't have any leaks in our system here and everything works okay. Keyword is hope. Let's turn the pump on. Well, it works. Got plenty of flow coming out and no leaks. That's always the important part right there. That's my worst fear. Whenever I assemble anything that can leak, I just have a terrible fear of looking at it and seeing it leaking everywhere. But looks like we got this done right, hopefully. I don't see any diesel leaking out of any of these joints right here or the hose. Good deal. I put regular diesel in this. The place where I get farm diesel is closed today. Today is New Year's Eve, so a lot of stuff closed early. So I just put about 20 gallons in this because I didn't want to fill it up all the way. Let's go ahead and get rid of it though, because Mr. Cotto was just about on empty. Works pretty good. All right, friends, I guess I'm done for the evening. It's only 6 o'clock. As you can see behind me, it's already dark outside. And since it is Christmas Eve, it's not Christmas Eve, my goodness, Nathan, it's New Year's Eve, it's Sunday. I gotta head down to the timber frame and get ready for the YouTube live that we do every Sunday night at 8 o'clock. And for those of you that are not aware of this, every Sunday night on this YouTube channel at 8 o'clock Eastern time, I do a live down at the timber frame and I try to answer questions and read your all's comments, give shout outs. And I also like the super chats, I will admit it, those are nice as well, but we have a good time with it. We do it every Sunday night at 8 o'clock unless I have something come up in the schedule that kind of changes things, but that's kind of rare. It's actually been a pretty good while since we've missed a live on Sundays. I even done one on Christmas Eve and tonight's New Year's Eve and that'll be no different. So be on the lookout for those every Sunday night 8 p.m. on this channel, live, and we usually go for about 30 to 45 minutes. And sometimes even an hour if the questions keep on coming. So if you guys are not aware of that, now you are. If you don't have anything to do on Sunday evenings, come sit down with us at 8 o'clock, grab some coffee, and we have a pretty good time actually. These lives are pretty enjoyable. And you don't have to sign up or do anything special. Just pull up my channel on Sunday night about 7:55 and wait for it to come on. Or if you're subscribed to this channel, hit that notification bell right below on, I'm not sure which side of the screen it is on. And every Sunday night when we go live, you will be notified on your phone or however you watch your videos. All right, guys, so this video is not over. I'm going to be back out here in the morning because we're going to put the grapple on Mr. Cotto. We got a brand new grapple to try out. So I'll see you guys back here in just a second. All right, friends, it's the next day. It looks like we got some nice weather in Tennessee today. The high is about 50. You can't beat that for January. I've got Mr. Cotto warming up in the shop. Let's take a look at this grapple, then we'll get it unloaded. This is our new grapple. It's made by IRONCRAFT. That's the same company that makes the bush hog that I showed in a previous video. I got this down at their headquarters in Athens, Tennessee. This is made in the States for you guys that keep score on stuff like that. Really good quality. This looks like a rate design as far as the grapple goes. We'll do some measurements once we get it off here. And this one is rated for a skid steer, friends. My other grapples I have here on the channel are rated for tractors. This one is actually rated for skid steer. or a track loader, whatever you want to call it. Some people call them track loaders, some people call them skid steers. It's pretty much all the same thing. Now the reason I say this grapple is rated for a skid steer is because it's more heavy duty. The steel is thicker, the cylinders are a little bit more beefier, and it has flat face couplers as well for the hydraulics. See if we can get this unloaded with the pallet forks. I think this grapple weighs around 600 pounds. Need to put a cinder block behind it so it doesn't fall over on us. All right, guys, as you can tell, sun's going down. It's been about 2 hours since I put this grapple on. My neighbor down the road called me and needed some help, so I had to stop what I was doing and go help him out for a few minutes because I may need his help tomorrow. You always got to help out your neighbors, guys. Always help them out no matter what you're doing because you may need them, and you will eventually. So, before the sun goes down, let's go over the specs of this grapple. So I measured it off camera. This is a 72-inch grapple, like I said earlier, made by IRONCRAFT. It's got 2 hydraulic cylinders right there in the back, and this is a single lid grapple. And what I mean by that is the lid is one piece. Sometimes you'll see a grapple with 2 lids on it. There'll be a separation right here in the middle, and you'll have a cylinder for each top right there. This one has 1. I guess that's pretty much all about it, guys. There's not really much to talk about. It's a grapple. You guys know what it can do. It does have a nice little footrest right there for climbing in the cab. My other grapples do not have that. That's really nice. And this thing weighs around, I think, 650, right at 700 pounds maybe. It's pretty beefy. You can see how thick the steel is on this grapple. A grapple for a tractor most of the time is not this heavy duty. It's not this thick of steel, and the cylinders are not as beefy as you'll find on this one. This is a really nice unit right here. So tomorrow we're going to come out here, take the grapple up here to the chicken run and get rid of that old fence and start tearing all that out, because I need to get back on a project that I started around the 1st of November, and that project was finishing the siding on the chicken house. Now the sun's going down. It will be dark here in about 30 minutes, but I want to try this grapple out. So with a little bit of light we have left, we'll go up here to the chicken lot and start pulling out some of this fence. So if the video quality is kind of low on this because of the lighting, you guys know why, but I want to try this thing out. This is a nice grapple. To grab my toboggan, it's getting cold out here. And in case you guys might have noticed, I'm wearing my Mr. Cotto hoodie today. If you want to grab one, there's a link down below to the Farm Focus store. That's my little sales pitch of the day. But I got to promote myself, because if I don't, nobody else will. All right, so we'll let Mr. Cotto warm up here for just a few minutes before we put her to work. And right now on this machine, I'm sitting on 49 hours. Just about time for the first oil change on Mr. Cotto. We might do that Saturday because it's supposed to rain all day. Let's raise up the grapple and test the hydraulic real fast. Now this is an older fence. I should be able just to rip it right out of the ground with the post still connected to it. Key word is should.